am Hope Brown, president and founder of Sagacious Back on Track, where we help people get back on track in education, job training, and business. I'm here with Jeff Golden, former city council for High Point for how many years?
7.
7 years. He has been exceptionally active in housing and economic development here in the community. What made you interested in joining the school board?
Well, school board has always been an interest of mine, but my primary focus now is going to be on focusing on safety. When I talk about safety, I'm not talking about just school shootings, but I'm talking about bullying. I'm talking about kids getting harassed because of their immigration status. I'm talking about kids being harassed because of their social economic status. We just want to create a safe environment where all our kids go learn. Second thing that I wanted to focus on was equitable use of resources, making sure that the monies go to the schools that need it most. And then lastly, I want to focus on being transparent where families find out about what's going on in the school system before it happens, not after it happens.
What are the current difficult challenges do you realize you will face if you are elected?
Going in, Guilford County is looking at a $2 billion replace, rebuild, and rehab of their schools with $2 billion in deferred maintenance. So we got to somehow come up with how we're going to get $2 billion. There's been some ideas out there about a special tax, and there's also been some ideas out there about a bond. I personally don't think that the taxpayer can handle a $2 billion bond referendum, but we got a $2 billion problem. So what I would suggest is that we start out with $1 billion and then add $500 million over the next 3 to 5 years, and then another $500 million after another 3 to 5 years, because we're talking about a 10-year process and we can't wait 10 years to get this thing started. So that is how I would look at solving that problem. And then we would also have to skim some of the fat off of the other 3 budgets that are in Guilford County and apply them to the school system.
Are there solutions to these challenges?
Yes, I mean, the biggest solution is you're going to have to develop a better relationship with the commissioners in the school board. The commissioners have the ability to determine how monies are spent. We work off the budget that they give us. I think that the school board needs more input as to what their needs are so they can help determine what that budget should be, because the school board does not have taxing abilities. We don't have the ability to go out there and implement a bond or any other tax to create income for the schools. That comes straight from the commissioners.
If other members decide not to support your effort, what would you do, or how would you convince them to support your efforts?
I think at that point you have to develop some kind of grassroots effort. You have to go out to the people and you have to organize the people where they could express their needs to that board. We're an elected body, and anytime you're an elected body, you don't do what you want to do, you do what the people want you to do. So when you can't convince board members, you have to go to the public.
All right. Black history is the foundation of the building of the United States. Forsyth County blew the opportunity to expose that true history in their school system. Would you make any effort to get real Black history into our schools as a requirement, or in our social studies curriculum?
Yes, and the way I think we have to do that is Black Americans, we value our history as much as anybody else. We don't value our history no less or no more than white America or Native Americans. But what we need to do is incorporate all of them histories into one, because all of them histories make up what happened in this country. And then you put them together, and then you have one history instead of a distorted history. The way we teach it now is a distorted history because we leave out so many people. You can't leave out the Native Americans and tell American history. You cannot leave out Blacks and tell American history. It has to be all-inclusive. So rather than having 3 curriculums, combine them, have one curriculum, and teach the truth.
Awesome. Knowing finance is significant in globalization, I acknowledge recently finance has been implemented in our curriculum at Guilford County Schools. How do you feel about that, and do you think there should be any other necessary changes in our curriculum?
Yes. So many of us graduate from high school, so many of our youth graduate from high school and not know how to manage money. And because of that, they end up with tremendous debt. You know, it doesn't make sense to have debt and not own anything. So our kids need to know how to manage their debt the day they walk out of that school. Everybody's not going to go to college, for one. And we also, as part of that finance, we need to put our kids in position where they can get a livable wage based on their high school experience in the event they don't go to college. But yes, finance need to be taught in the schools, and we need to be directed by the professionals. That's something that shouldn't cost us anything. We can do that with volunteers through financial services, coming in and doing one-block classes here and there and teaching our youth.
I totally agree. Parents, especially single parents, count on the school systems for academic guidance. Because many of our young men are at risk of failing, we count on help from our school's officials to offer extracurriculum activities and counseling. Would you interact with the guidance counselors to offer guidance to our young men? How can parents be involved, and how will you ensure that these programs are available for our children?
Well, me personally, I've always been involved. I've been a member of Communities in School for as long as I can remember. And in that capacity, I usually mentor one kid, and on occasion I might do a group of kids, and I speak to a group of kids just about life situations. The way to handle that, I think, is to just put out a challenge to every male in our community to just adopt one kid every year and help guide that kid through the things that they're going to need to incorporate in life.
There are many programs offered to help our children achieve academic and career goals. But I have personally learned there are politics played between these programs and certain faculty members. Therefore, the students end up not receiving efficient help that they seek. As a founder of one of those programs, what could be offered to control the politics and favoritism between these programs and Guilford County schools?